Hello, this is Lauren Brantley Books, and I am here today with a review of The Raven and the Reindeer by T Kingfisher. This is a retelling of the Hans Christian Andersen fairy tale, The Snow Queen. The Snow Queen is the story of a girl named Gerda and her friend, a boy named Kay. One day, Kay is kidnapped by the mysterious spirit known as the Snow Queen, a spirit of winter and all things cold. Gerda then goes on a journey to find Kay and bring him home. She encounters a witch, a talking raven, a princess, a gang of thieves, and two mysterious old women on her journey north to the Snow Queen's lair. The Raven and the Reindeer follows the basic story of the Snow Queen, but with a few major changes. Like in the original fairy tale, it stars a young girl named Gerda who is best friends with a boy named Kay. In the original, their friendship was much a healthy one, but in The Raven and the Reindeer, it's clear Gerda is putting much more into their friendship than Kay is. Gerda has an unhealthy fixation on Kay and has very low self-esteem. Kay, on the other hand, is a bit of a fair-weather friend to Gerda, being aloof towards her sometimes and friendly with her other times. It really made me dislike Kay right off the bat. However, you do get the idea that Gerda thinks the world of Kay and would do almost anything for him, even if he clearly isn't willing to do the same. There's also the question of whether Kay and Gerda have romantic feelings for each other. Kay wants to kiss Gerda without her permission, I might add. Unfortunately, kissing people without their consent comes up more in the story later, as we'll see. However, Gerda considers them just to be friends. One winter day, the Snow Queen passes over the city and creates a great winter storm. During the storm, Gerda sees Kay climb out his window and go to the sled of the Snow Queen. The Snow Queen takes him on board and flies away with him to Gerda's horror. Now it's up to Gerda to go on an epic quest to find Kay and rescue him from the Snow Queen. Like in the original fairy tale, Gerda first encounters a witch, and the witch ends up holding her hostage for 7 months. She does this by using her magic to mess with Gerda's perception of time. So what feels like a few days to her is really 7 months for Gerda. The only reason she's able to snap out of the witch's spell is because of the fact that Gerda has a memory of Kay that breaks the spell. Once Gerda gets away from the witch, she encounters a raven named Mousebones. It turns out Gerda can speak to the raven and becomes her traveling companion. They go on together for a while until they come across bandits in the forest who take Gerda prisoner. This is where the Raven and the Reindeer differs from the original fairy tale by quite a bit. In the original story, Gerda first encounters a princess, and the princess generously sends her off in a carriage. The carriage gets attacked by some bandits, and Gerda only survives because a robber girl decides she wants to keep her as a slave. In The Raven and the Reindeer, Gerda is captured by a bandit named Martin, who takes her back to the bandits' camp. Jana, the robber girl in this version, saves Gerda and keeps her in camp as a guest. Jana was easily my favorite character. She is the daughter of the bandit chief and has temporarily taken charge of the band while her father is away. However, Jana believes her father is actually dead and is relying on the other bandits not realizing that to keep her position as leader of the bandits. Jana is a more complex character than Gerda. We learn Jana has done some pretty desperate things to maintain her position of power, like murder, and this should make her unlikable. However, we really get to see the softer side of Jana and how she treats Gerda and her love of animals. Despite the fact that this was a character that it killed before, I still found myself really liking her, and she helped make up for Gerda's lack of depth. The only major traits Gerda has is that she has low self-esteem and was self-effacing at times. Jana, on the other hand, has much more shades of gray to her morality, which makes her interesting. Jana and Gerda also strike up a romantic relationship with one another, and this is where my major problem with the story lies. While on one hand I like that this is a same-sex relationship, it's always nice to get representation, especially in fantasy, there's also a lot of problems with the relationships in terms of consent. At 2 different points of the story, Jana kisses Gerda without her permission. This is never treated as the assault it is, and instead played off as romantic. Kissing someone, especially someone you've never kissed before, without the permission is assault. The obvious exception is if you are in an established relationship and have ironed out all those details already. But Jana and Gerda are practically strangers, and Jana goes around kissing Gerda without asking her. It's gross, and I wish it wasn't treated as romantic. Surprise kisses really need to stop. They are a violation of consent, and I hate the fact that so much media kissing someone without their consent is seen as romantic. Apart from the non-consensual kissing, I overall did not like the relationship between Jana and Gerda. It felt very rushed and out of nowhere, and at no point did I see any real chemistry between the two. Jana works well as a side character in Gerda's quest, but not as her love interest, which is a shame. The relationship is definitely a miss for me and was probably my least favorite aspect of the story. As I said before, Gerda was a pretty bland character for me. Her only real character trait was her low self-esteem. I really wish Gerda had more personality to her. Mousebones the Raven and Jana the Robber Girl have 10 times more personality traits than Gerda. In fact, most of the side characters had a lot of personality to them, but for some reason Gerda was left feeling very bland. Not quite self-insert bland, but she lacked any character, and she did not grow or develop over the arc of the story. By the end, her unhealthy relationship with Kay hasn't really been resolved either, so we have no way of knowing whether she's going right back to fawning over him while he ignores her. The conclusion of the book is pretty rushed, and another chapter or two to tie things together would have been appreciated. While I can't get into details to avoid spoilers, the climax of this book is a little disappointing. Through the book, there's been a running theme of plant magic, and this magic shows up during the climax of the story and resolves everything without the main characters really having to do anything. It really was a missed opportunity for the main characters to shine and resolve the problem with what they learned during their journey. The climax of a novel is really a chance for the characters to show how much they have grown during their journey, and the best climaxes are the ones where the characters have a lot of agency. But here the characters have basically no agency during the climax, and it takes a completely outside force to solve everything. I feel like this is a consequence of Gerda having essentially no character arc. If she had a character arc, she could have acquired skills that she could have then used during the climax of the story. As it stands, the climax feels like a deus ex machina and is not very satisfying to resolve. The magic system in this story is not based on really any system and is never really explained how it works. I don't mind this much as I like magic based on vibes. The coolest aspect of the story is definitely the reindeer transformation and the reindeer road. To escape from the band of robbers, Gerda learns how to shapeshift into a reindeer and takes something called the Reindeer Road to get to the Snow Queen's palace. Descriptions of the Reindeer Road and its magic are definitely the highlights of the story, and I wish it had played a bigger part in the story. I have mixed feelings about The Raven and the Reindeer. It's a fairly standard fairy tale retelling, and I don't think it's especially good. I think if you like fairy tale retellings, you might like this book, but at the same time, there are better ones out there. Still, there aren't many retellings of the Snow Queen, so I think this is a passable one if that's what you're looking for. Have you read The Raven and the Reindeer? If so, what did you think about it? I am Lauren Brantley Books, and this has been my review of The Raven and the Reindeer by T Kingfisher. If you have any suggestions for what I should review next, feel free to suggest them in the comments below. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe for more reviews from me. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!